Hi everyone, welcome along to Through the Banner. It is prelim final weekend in the AFL. Skeet and COD taking you through the last four teams, the last two games before the grand final. And let's begin first up with the news of the day from a WA perspective. Lachie Neale, he was going from Brisbane to Fremantle, now he's staying put.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? He had to make a big decision about what he was going to do with his life. Obviously, his wife Jules is due to give birth in just over a month's time now, and her family are over here. His family are in country South Australia, so the only family support they have is in Perth. Were they going to come back to play for Fremantle? Could they possibly do it? Was there a trade that could get it done? In the end, Lachie Neale's walked away and gone, probably not, I'll stay in Brisbane. But it has been an interesting couple of days. He certainly wouldn't have enjoyed the publicity that's followed him throughout the past few days. And in the end, he has decided that Brisbane is a better place for him to stay at the moment.
Hindsight, probably the best result for Fremantle and Brisbane, given what the Dockers may have had to give up. But that's been put to one side. Adam Cerra, though, his future remains in question.
Yeah, he's in talks with Melbourne at the moment, but we can't really see how Melbourne are going to get the deal done. They've got pick 33 in the draft, and that's clearly not going to get it done. Fremantle are going to ask for Luke Jackson, and they're going to get laughed out of town. So it's impossible for either team to work out a deal where they can say, yeah, that seems pretty fair. So we still think that Adam Cerra will end up at Carlton because they have the picks that can allow it to happen. And that would be pick 6, which would give Fremantle picks 6, 8 and 27 and a really strong hand in the draft.
Grand final not far away, our first ever in Perth, and the grand final tickets. Talk about being the hottest in town. I can't remember an event where I've had so many people ask me about tickets. $185 the starting price, but that's the easy part. It's getting hold of them.
Yeah, so if you're a member of either team, there's 12,000 of those up for grabs, so that's a good chance if you go for the clubs that end up involved. And then there's at least 10,000 that are for people who are just members of the general public. So they are going to be as rare as hen's teeth, though. They will be gone like that. Your best chance is to hope that Port Adelaide lose this weekend, because there'll be fewer people who are able to travel from Victoria than there are from South Australia, because the border is open to South Australia. So those 12,000 seats would go to Bulldogs fans or Melbourne fans or Geelong fans might end up back in the general public pool. But it's going to be a case of first in, best dressed. Just cross your fingers and see how you go.
It's going to be a sellout, no way. Other than that, it's going to be 60,000 plus at Optus Stadium September 25. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of prelim final weekend, often regarded as the best weekend of footy in the season. Let's start with the big one. Friday night at Optus Stadium, it's Melbourne against Geelong.
Yeah, and Melbourne have brought in Michael Hibberd, the former Bomber, across half-back. Joel Smith had a hamstring injury at training during the week. Really tough luck for him, and he might even struggle to get up for a grand final if they do win through. Obviously, James Jordan, the sub, is back as an emergency for the game. Out at Geelong, we have Brandon Parfitt out with a hamstring injury. That's a really serious one. He's done for the year. And Zach Guthrie was the sub last week, so he's come into the actual squad. So he will be part of the 22. And then both teams have to work out who their subs will be. Nathan Jones, Skeet, is part of the emergency group for Melbourne. Would you put the veteran in, 300 games, former captain, at this point of the year?
Heart and soul of the footy club. We know he's probably not in their very best side at the moment, but what factor could he be coming on as a Medi sub in a prelim, in a grand final? Big decision for Simon Goodwin. Either way, I think most people would love to see Nathan Jones get a game, be it on Friday night or in the grand final if they get there. But that's a decision best left to the coach of Melbourne. Good luck to him on that front. Let's go to Saturday night. Huge game, of course. Western Bulldogs, they've done some travelling in the last few weeks, up against Port Adelaide, who've been sitting at home, putting their feet up.
Yeah, they're absolutely nice and fresh, Port Adelaide. They've made no real change. No in, and the only out is the sub from last time, which was Sam Powell-Pepper. No Mitch Georgiades, who's been injured as well and had a crash with a scooter as well a couple of weeks ago. So he's had all sorts of dramas. Just a very, very settled Port Adelaide team that will go in as a raging hot favourite against the Western Bulldogs team that has made some really interesting changes. Zane Cordy is in, and Stephen Martin will play for the first time since round 12. He's had a hip problem. Alex Keith, outstanding form as a key defender. He's out with a hammy. Cody Waitman in really good form as a forward. He's out with concussion. Lewis Young loses his spot as a ruckman, but Marcus Bontempelli has been named despite a knee problem from last week.
So the Bont is there, but will the Bulldogs be there come grand final day? It's a huge ask. Our top tipster in the West Australian with his 2 prelim final selections, COD.
Melbourne and Port Adelaide both have the week off. Nice and refreshed, nice and stable. They should both win.
They should, but prelim finals can throw up so many surprises. I'm sticking with the Demons and the Power. We hope it's a huge weekend of footy. You can catch all the action on 7 West. We'd like you to like and subscribe as well. And for all your news and sport, simply head to thewest.com.au. We'll see you next week for the grand final edition of Through the Bat.